As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. Situated just 88 miles north of the equator, this 3.5-mile circuit is hot, it's humid, and is an incredible test for the drivers as they try to fight their cars around the bumps and in between the barriers. 23 corners take us twice over the bay to complete a single lap of this unique racetrack. The view is spectacular, the heat is unbearable. The race should be incredible. Anthony Davidson is alongside me in the commentary box this evening, and big race this one, a real test of endurance. Sounds right up your alley. Wouldn't you just love to be down there on the grid right now?
You know what, Crofty? I'm pretty happy to be up here in my air conditioning, thank you, right now. I can't stress just how difficult these conditions can be, especially when you consider it's the longest race on the calendar in terms of time. It's also one of those races where you have to remember to keep drinking, or there's a real risk of dehydration. Just like we saw with young Kevin Magnussen a couple of years ago, don't forget. We mentioned the bumps as well. Take a look at the onboards if you get a chance during this race. The movement in the suspension and the chassis is just incredible, and it's lots of hard work to wrestle the car around the lap here.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
And now it's time to head down to the track.
Hi guys, CombinedYoutuber here. Welcome to the F1 2016 career mode today, and we'll be doing the Singapore Grand Prix today. This is round 15 of season 1 of the F1 2016 career mode, and here we are for the Singapore Grand Prix, the night race, the night street circuit and the Marina Bay street circuit. Our strategy is to start on the ultra softs and end on the super softs, so that's a normal strategy. Here we are on the formation lap of this race here in Singapore. The reason I did not show qualifying, just to know, is because there's maybe an excuse or something, or either an excuse or just a valid reason. I don't know what it'll be, what you will think it as, but I personally thought that my fastest lap in the session, where I qualified in 9th and start 8th, by the way, I feel like it was a little bit of a dirty lap. It had a bit of corner cut and it had a huge extent at the final corner side. I just preferred not to show that. So I've just gone for the race. Malaysia will be as normal. So the next race will be as normal. Anyway, here we are on the grid. We are behind Sergio Perez, so we start behind the Perez in the Force India. So let's see what we can do here. Coming into the final corner now, we will be forming the grid for the race start here in Singapore. Lining up on the grid, we are in 8th place. Let's hope this is a good race here in Singapore. Perez lines up alongside me as he... We have Alonso lining up as well, and Massa, and there's, I think, I don't know who's actually at the back. I think it's like Nass or something. But here we are for round 15 of the F1 2016 career mode in the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's now away we go for the night race in Singapore in 2016. And it's a pretty messed start from us there, pretty bad start. As we head into turn 1, we've been passed by Bottas. We're going to go on the inside, well, Hulkenberg's going on the inside of us. And Bottas gets pushed off the track a bit there. As we lose position, we are down to 9th by turn 3. Coming now into turn 4, are we going to, well, turn 5 actually this is apparently. Now coming on into turn 5, we're going to get Valtteri Bottas now onto the straight with a little kink on it. Here we go, slipstreaming Valtteri Bottas now coming into turn 7. Are we going to get him into up the inside now? No, we're not. That's a bit too far back, I think, there. But there is a bit of action there that's blocking, or that's slowing down Valtteri Bottas. Now coming up the inside of Bottas now into turn 8. We're not going to get him there. So, yeah. Oof, we are very aggressive here in the first lap of this race. But we are dropping back from Bottas now as we head into this corner. Felipe Massa's behind us and the other Williams. So this is going to be interesting now. Here we go through the what would be the Singapore sling. But it's not the Singapore sling because it got removed after 2013. Here we go, up the inside of Bottas into, is this turn 12 I think? I don't know if this is turn 12. But now we try to get past him onto the, that was the Anderson Bridge. Now switching back to the inside on Valtteri Bottas, and we get the move done into P8, almost hitting the wall. We just hold on, and we get into 8th place. We pass Valtteri Bottas, and the next guy to pass is our teammate Romain Grosjean. Are we going to try and get him now into the next corner? Here we go, up the inside of turn 12 once again on Romain Grosjean. Here we go, slipstreaming him, coming down into turn 13 or 14. Here we go, slipstreaming him. Are we going to go up the inside? Yes, we are going to go up the inside of Romain Grosjean, and we get into 7th place on Romain Grosjean. That's a good move, and our teammate. We are racing, I think we are racing when there's no team orders, so we have passed Romain Grosjean, we move up into 7th. So after that, here is a replay of the start of this Singapore Grand Prix. It was a pretty bad start for me, to be fair. It wasn't really an interesting start compared to, like, I don't know. I don't even need to mention. So yeah, let's see. There was 3-1 to turn 1. Hulkenberg was on the inside. Bottas held it around the outside and went off the track, as you do. So it's Hamilton on pole, by the way, on the grid. I never told the grid. It was Hamilton on pole from Rosberg, and Sebastian Vettel was in 3rd, but he dropped back. So yeah, Rosberg and Raikkonen are in fact side by side as we head into this corner. And here is Valtteri Bottas now coming into. Here we are, right behind Valtteri Bottas, who's right behind Romain Grosjean. So let's see what happens next in the Singapore Grand Prix. So there we are, going up. We're trying to go up the inside there of Valtteri Bottas. Yeah, and now into turn 9 there, onto the straight. We still have Bottas behind me. We had Massa all over the back of us. I thought we weren't going to pass Bottas here until we got to this corner. So yep, and of course we did get him after that. We show the replay. Now onto lap 2 and onto the final corner, and moving on to lap 3 of this Singapore Grand Prix. We move on to lap 3. We have a 147.0 as our fastest lap, or our fastest lap, not the fastest lap, but our fastest lap. Sergio Perez is the next car to pass for us here in the Singapore Grand Prix. This is I think the second night race of the season, obviously, because Bahrain was the other one. And now onto lap 4, we have a 146.6, so that's an even better lap time. And we are right up the back of Sergio Perez now into this corner. Are we going to get P6? Here we go, coming to turn 5 and onto the DRS zone. Here we go, we're going to slipstream Sergio Perez. And as we come into this corner, here we go, coming onto the straight, and we're going to pull out to the outside of Perez. Are we going to get him to turn 7 round the outside? Yes, we are. We're going to get round the outside of Sergio Perez into 6th place. That's a great move on Sergio Perez. That was a great move. Oh, it was a really good move there. Let's check the replay of this race. We used DRS to gain on Perez, and we were side by side, and we go round the outside into turn 7. That is spectacular around the outside, and that was a great move. That was like I did that in 2013, in fact, on Hamilton. So on season 2 in 2013, I did that move on Lewis Hamilton. So here we go on lap 4, coming into the pit lane now for our set of super softs. I do not like the pit lane in this track so much, so that's why I generally go slow around it. So as is a street circuit, also the 60 kilometers an hour is the pit lane speed limit. So here we go now, coming into the pit lane, or into our pit box for a set of super softs. Changing to super soft now. I have no idea what the pit stops have been this season, because I've always done the replay for the pit stops to make it more exciting, I guess, or make it more career. I just want to make the career modes more interesting, so I just do the replay cameras for that sort of thing. Now coming out of the pits, I believe we're in last place pretty much. We're at the back, definitely. We are in 21st, in fact, because Verstappen has pitted early. I think he might have been involved in a crash or something, I don't know. Verstappen is done last on the grid, 22nd. Anyway, here we are, onto the final corner, lap 6 of this Grand Prix. We do a 2:06 after our pit stops now. Out of the pit lane now, Felipe Massa and someone else there. We have gained 2 positions into 19th now. So I think we're going to be up into 6th in our normal position now. So here we are on to lap 6. We have Ricciardo, who's actually, is that a smoke coming out the back of Ricciardo's car? It is as well. Ricciardo is actually out of the race, right in front of me. Ricciardo's engine has blown up on, into the mini straight there. So let's see. Ricciardo here, just chilling on the straight. Yep, and he's got smoke out of his car, and he's pulled over. He's gone down the escape road at turn 9, and there I go past. So that is a real shame for Ricciardo. I was right in front of him. I was probably going to pass him, but that at least saves me a position of passing in there. So that at least saves me a position. And now coming on to lap 8, we're going to come out ahead of Nasser, is that? Or Button? I don't know. Yeah, Grosjean actually. We're going to get out ahead of our teammate Roman Grosjean, so we're in P11 right now in the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's now move on to lap 9 of this race, where we have Kimi Raikkonen getting blocked by a huge train there, so Grosjean's also over the back of us. Grosjean is actually faster than us, so he's going to go to the outside now as we come into this corner. Is Grosjean going to challenge us? No, he isn't. Well, he is. He actually has challenges, but we have the inside line and we keep P11. But now we've moved up to P8, up to the next pit stops. And now we have Kimi Raikkonen ahead of us now. We've actually touched him there. Oh, that was a good save. That was a really good save. We touched the rear tyre of Kimi Raikkonen and we slid off his rear tyre. Almost, we actually hit the wall, but the wall actually saved us, I think, from a spin and crash out of the race. So very lucky there. Very, very lucky. And now Grosjean is getting much closer to us. He's probably going to pass us in the next couple of laps. Let's hope he does, because I want some teammate battles in this season to go up all the way to the front as well. So Magnussen comes into the pits. Raikkonen goes a little bit off the apex there and blocks me, makes me hit him. So it's not ideal from Raikkonen. But now into turn 1, we're right at the back of him, and we're going to try and make a move on him here. We are in P5. Of course, Ricciardo DNF, so of course we're in P5. We were in P6 before that. Are we going to try and get Raikkonen with DRS into turn 5 now, and we're going to go onto the straight with DRS. I've got sort of bad traction there, and now I think Grosjean's actually going to try and challenge us here. Let's see what happens here. We're getting closer. Yes, Grosjean is going to the inside, but it was only a little look. He was not going to challenge us there, so we're still in P5 on lap 11 of this Grand Prix. We're going to go up the inside of Raikkonen into turn 8. We're still hanging on in there, we're side by side. Raikkonen cuts us off into turn 9, and he's forced us to miss. He's actually made me miss the apex there into turn 9 there, so it's not really good. So Raikkonen has actually pulled away from that. I decided to back out of that move. We've actually gone wide there. We've actually gone way wide of the apex there, and now Grosjean is going to try and challenge us now on the inside, and Grosjean has capitalised on our mistake, and he's got past us into turn 5. But now we're going to come back up the inside now into turn 5. Grosjean has held it round the outside. That's a great move from Grosjean. He's really fighting with us this race. We're now going to get some DRS to go back on the inside of Grosjean into turn 7. Are we going to get him? Yes, we're side by side, and we do get Grosjean back. This is a great battle between This is a great battle between the two Haas teammates here in Singapore. We repassed Romain Grosjean on lap 12 here. And is Grosjean going to get us now into turn 10? No, he isn't. He's getting closer though. This is a very good battle with Romain Grosjean. I think this is a pretty good race in my opinion. This is a pretty good race. This is an overall good race. Not as good as Italy, but I think it's as good as Belgium, or maybe even better than Belgium. And now onto lap 12 and onto the third to last lap of this Grand Prix, lap 13, and Grosjean uses DRS to go on the inside into turn 1, but he hasn't quite got us there. We've gone slightly wide there, which is interesting. Onto turn 3, we've held on to Grosjean's advantage. Well, Grosjean's trying to get us now. But this is a legit teammate battle. Every time we've tried to have a teammate battle, it's either ended up in the collision, Silverstone, or it's either ended up in the front wing damage or something in Hungary. So here comes Grosjean back on the inside with DRS. He's got us back, and now we're going to try and go around the outside. No, Grosjean's actually got us on the inside. Our teammate passes us, and now we're going to try and go back up the inside, but not quite. Grosjean has passed us. Our teammate has passed us for 5th place, and now we're going to try and get him back here into this corner, into the chicane now, on over the Anderson Bridge, I think this is. I don't know. We're now coming back up the inside of Romain Grosjean. We've actually hit the wall again, and we've done our second save of the race to not crash. Well, we did crash there, but we've lost time to Romain Grosjean. I think we're going to give up on the move and just concede the position. and basically do like hold the position, basically the team order sort of thing. Just hold the position with Romain Grosjean. Grosjean had the better pace for the entire weekend, so he deserves to be ahead of me more than I do. So anyway, on to the final corner. Lewis Hamilton has won the Singapore Grand Prix for the second time. As now, here we are around the final corner. Romain Grosjean finishes in 5th place and we finish in 6th place. That's a great result for Haas F1 in the Singapore Grand Prix. 5th place for Romain Grosjean after he passed me onto the straight. So it's a pretty good battle between the two Haas teammates, in my opinion. So that's the first battle. That's the first legit battle we've had in this season. Let's hope we can have some more in the next few races. So Lewis Hamilton stands up in triumph as he takes another victory in this season. Sebastian Vettel is in 3rd, Nico Rosberg, so it's just the usual Hamilton-Rosberg-Vettel podium. There is Grosjean celebrating his 5th place as he finished ahead of me. So here we are onto the podium where we have Hamilton, with a very dark podium I have to say. Hamilton is on the top step, Rosberg and then Vettel in 3rd.
Mercedes then are on top today.
So Hamilton lifts up the trophy in celebration as he takes another victory in this season. So that was an enjoyable Singapore Grand Prix in my opinion. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. It was the first good battle with our teammate Romain Grosjean, and I think Ferrari had potential in this race, but they didn't quite get there. So anyway, Singapore Grand Prix results. Lewis Hamilton winning by 2.2 seconds from Nico Rosberg, and Sebastian Vettel in 3rd, Kimi Räikkönen in 4th, Romain Grosjean finishing 5th my teammate finishes 5th, then me in 6th behind him, so we get beaten by our teammate, but he's been outpacing me the entire weekend, so he deserves that. Massa, there's Bottas, then Perez, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Button, Kvyat, Sainz, Haryanto, Palmer, Verstappen in 17th, Ericsson, Nasser, Magnussen, Verline, and the DNF was Daniel Ricciardo after that engine failure into turn 9. So sad for him there, to be honest.
So then, it's time
the amount of engine failures we have in this game.
It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table.
So in the driver's standings, we have Lewis Hamilton leading by 30 points from Nico Rosberg. Then Daniel Ricciardo is 141 points behind his championship over, I think, after that. Ricciardo 3rd, Bottas in 4th, me in 5th, Räikkönen in 6th, Verstappen in 7th. I don't know why we skipped the constructors.
It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
It was indeed a great performance from Haas. We move up into the constructors, I believe. So Räikkönen takes 6th and Verstappen in 7th. Vettel at 8th. Grosjean moves up to 9th. Massa in 10th. Button 11th. Perez 12th for Force India. Then we have Nico Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen, Rio Haryanto, Pascal Verline, Julian Palmer, Marcus Ericsson, and Felipe Nasser. The constructors, Mercedes leading by 269 points from Red Bull, then Ferrari, then Haas move up to 4th in the standings, 6 points ahead of Williams. Then we have Force India in 6th, McLaren, Toro Rosso, Renault, Manor, and Sauber, the only team still not to score points in this season. So hopefully you enjoyed that pretty good Singapore Grand Prix. I think it was enjoyable in my opinion. So hopefully we got some good resource points here. So here we go. We have got some good resource points indeed, with 121 resource points there. So 121 plus the first driver bonus. So 121 plus 58 would be 179 resource points in total. So that's pretty good there. And in our rivalry with Max Verstappen, I think we're going to be ahead of him after... No, we're not actually. We're not actually ahead of Max Verstappen. Despite Verstappen finishing in 17th place and me finishing in P6, we still haven't beat him. That's interesting. Yeah, we failed there on the objectives to beat Grosjean. But as we've passing other things... Sorry. We are overachieving still, so we got 3,255, so not the best weekend there for the career score. So we finished in 6th with 121 resource points earned, so that was a very much enjoyable Singapore Grand Prix. The Malaysian Grand Prix is next. As you can see, the Malaysian Grand Prix is next, so that should be a very good race as well. So I am really hyped to upload that race. So hopefully you enjoyed this Singapore Grand Prix. The Malaysian Grand Prix is next in Sepang. And see you guys on my next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click the bell button for notifications. And goodbye.